Well, I found some interesting connections. You know, we live in some pretty ironic times. That the knighted ladies and earls and barons the ones who were born with these titles or given these titles or whatever, they literally think they're better than everybody. They think that they've got that complex that the rest of the royal family have, that whatever they say is right, period, and everything else is just crazy, unstable, or heresy. And I had some jokes before I came on here. But you see, I'm stuck for words now because the more and more I think about this whole situation, the more disgusting it is. And not just that, but I think I'm getting sick. So I really want to get this video out before I'm stuck in bed for the next couple of days. Okay, this Epstein victim suing Virginia, right? Well, apparently this lawsuit doesn't stop just because Virginia is no longer with us, unfortunately. Well, I don't know though. That's according to news. You know, you gotta take whatever they say with a grain of salt. So, but it didn't seem like they wanted to stop this lawsuit. Now, Rina O. I've done some research about this woman. She met Epstein in 2000 and was around, or when Virginia saw her around, I guess, the year 2000, year 2001. According to Virginia, she wasn't just another victim of Epstein. She was one of his co-conspirators. And she was 21 or 20 or 21 at the time. Virginia was 16 and 17. So, I mean, she's still pretty young. Technically, Rina's brain wasn't all the way developed yet. But legally speaking, she was an adult. Although, I don't want to judge her based on that because 21 is still 21. Like I said, it's still 4 years of brain developing left to go. But I don't know. Maybe it's the lawsuit itself. I don't know. Because Rina is suing Virginia for defamation. For these tweets that Virginia put out. About the pain she endured at the hands of Epstein and Miss Rina O. and Ghislaine. So, Rina's suing Virginia for defamation because of these tweets. Now, the first court hears this case, right? The first court hears it. And they apparently side with Virginia. Like, they take Virginia's side and dismiss it. Well, from what I get, because it took me a while to quite understand these court papers. So, the judge of the lower court decides that. Well, Rina, not satisfied with his decision, appeals. And the appeals court overturns this decision. Virginia wanted to take it to the Supreme Court, the New York Supreme Court. The date is very interesting. It's interesting, the Supreme Court, when they decided to take Rina O's side, it was April 8th. The day after Virginia was supposedly released from the hospital from this bus accident. The day after. The New York Supreme Court. I don't know if Virginia flew there the day after her accident. Or if she just wasn't there and they just decided. I don't know. But I haven't seen any news articles make this connection yet. They don't mind saying she was distressed about all the money she was going to lose, weeks after she died, when no one would seem to notice the dates. Did she even know that the Supreme Court decided this? How do we even know she knew? And then Lady Victoria Hervey, Regina George herself. Okay, so here we go. Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre leaves hospital after crash, April 7th. This is after they found, according to her brother, she has some kind of kidney issues, and that the hospital found it out because of this accident. April 8th. The same day, the Supreme Court of New York decided Rina O. Was allowed to sue Virginia. Lady Victoria Hervey claims Prince Andrew accuser Virginia Giuffre's credibility, quote, destroyed following hospital release. The day after. When I was first reading all this, looking into it, I'm like, I don't know, this all can't be a coincidence. Then I watched this interview Victoria Hervey did 2 years back. And on this interview, she tells the reporter that she was in contact with one of Epstein's victims. And that, it's just horrible, the things this woman's went through, that she can't even speak about it, out loud about it. She's haunted about it. All this stuff going on and on and on. And then the reporter's like, why is she talking to you? And not, an investigator or something. And she says, because she trusts me. Okay, maybe. Victoria Hervey. Not sure why she would trust you. But whatever. An Epstein victim, because keep in mind, Victoria Hervey's a known friend of Ghislaine Maxwell. She's been friends with Ghislaine Maxwell a long time. She was in the documentary. Said as much. She was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell a long time. So why would one of Ghislaine and Giuffre's victims come to her to confide in? Why? If she really is one of, Then I'm thinking, well, who is this Epstein victim that Lady Victoria Hervey's in contact with? And I thought, I wonder if it's the same woman. Now, she never comes out and says who it is. But she does know Rina O. This picture was taken May 12th, 2023. About 2 years after Miss O here first filed her lawsuit against Virginia. Here she is, strutting down the street with the lady herself. Regina George and Gretchen Wieners right there for you. I'm not being funny. They really are like a Regina George and Gretchen Wieners right here. And I didn't want to pick on an Epstein survivor. That was until I saw that this, quote, survivor is carrying on with one of Ghislaine's good friends. And to hear the way this woman the other night, no, I'm not letting it go. To hear the way this woman talked about Virginia and her family, tried to humiliate them, called them poor, tried to shame a dead woman who has 3 young children. A woman who she has before conceded that she knew was a victim of sex trafficking. She don't care. She only cares about her friend, the Prince Andrew. And she's an ex. Look at her licking the boots of royalty and looking down on someone who had the nerve to sue them. It's an ironic world we live in. But it's not enough, Virginia's not enough, because Virginia's gone. Virginia's gone. You see, now they're just taking their case. Now, basically, who are you fighting now, guys? Who are you fighting with now? You trying to take this money from her children? Trying to take it from her children? And she also admitted she was in close contact with the Roy. She wouldn't come out and admit she was in contact with Andrew, but she said I'm in contact with the family. The same family who said they were going to donate to Virginia's charity, and that they were proud that Virginia stood up for herself, to cover their asses and all that stuff. Like, their games are so tiring. They really are. I don't know what is going on lately with all these mean girls coming out, trying to shame and discredit good women. Because this isn't the only situation. And, I wasn't going to do it, but fuck it. I'm going to do it. A girl named Laura Eisenhower, right? Our old president's great-great-granddaughter or something like that. I don't know what her issue is exactly. I really don't. I don't care. But lately she's been coming out and trying to discredit a good woman. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know what the deal is. But not only that, she's trying to discredit, like, everything this woman says. And some of this stuff is important for, like, disclosure and all of this stuff. So I don't know what it is with these people who just have no regard to the consequences they could cause anybody else. No regard. Ugh, God. Despicable. And you know what? This is not allegedly, this is just my opinion. I think these women are despicable. I think these women are despicable. Even if everything that they're saying is true. Even if everything they're saying is true, they're despicable. That's it. That's all I had for that. Now, I'm going to go lay in bed for a day or two, recover from my illness, and get back to this. Because there's so much coming out that I just can barely keep up with it. And this is a really bad time to get sick. Sorry, guys. I'll be back, though. But to all you mean girls out there, like, you're not just hurting the women you're going after. You realize that. You're hurting so many people.